All right. I'm live, just changing the title there real quick. All right. I'm throwing out a challenge to anybody that wants to debate me live or draw against me. Anybody? It was in one of the chats the other day that I'm whining because I suck. So, and I could go look for it. It was on, I mean, I don't want to, I mean, trust me. Someone was like, oh, he's been playing the race card, meaning me talking about the fact that, Comicsgate is supposed to be a safe haven for white males who are under attack. You know what I mean? And, minorities and women can come with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a white male conservative who's trying to find a place to make it's not just comics, just anywhere in the world, women have invaded the workforce. Women who can work if they want to. You see, women, I'm going to get to what I was just saying in a minute. Don't let me lose my train of thought. But basically, what I'm trying to say, okay, let me just jump to another point because, I kind of forgot where I was going there. I only have a limited amount of time to kind of. The dude that someone tried me whining because I suck is the point. All right, we'll get back to that in a second because I threw out a challenge and everybody shut up, right? As usual, people attack me. I throw out a challenge. Everybody shuts up, right? I'm used to it. Trust me, it happens all the time because people are misguided and someone says something different and they attack you or they attack that person and then that person is legit. They don't even know why they're attacking them. They're just going along with the mental illness in society. That person stands up for themselves and they're like, oh, what am I doing? Yeah, if someone tried to say I sucked as an artist, so I came back at him with the challenge of any pro or non-pro, and I'll get to women working, any pro or non-pro that wants to draw against me live, if I don't beat you, then you're a pro. And even if you're a pro, I guarantee that what I draw live is not that much worse than yours. Trust me, it'll be a close. I will make you sweat. Okay, if you're a pro and you can sit around and do comics all fucking day, you don't have to work for a living like I do. Do real work for a living like I do. Where if I don't show up, they shit can me. You can be famous and take 2 years to turn out a comic book and nobody cares. But anyway, my point is I threw out any pro or non-pro that thinks I'm whining because I suck. I will draw against you live. I will draw against you live anytime, and we'll see how it goes. And but I guarantee you, if you're if you're just some schmo that reads comics, I'm going to kick your ass. And if you're a pro, I'm definitely going to make you sweat. And anyway, because I know anatomy and I know enough tricks to where I can rip off pinup art. I don't care about pinup art. I'm trying to do a full comic by myself, which a lot of these creators can't do. I got to do the whole thing myself. A lot of these pros can only do one little part of it. They can't, I got to do the whole thing. So anyway, women working. Women don't have to work. We already live in a society that makes sure women are taken care of. I have a friend who's on SSDI, and he lives with a girlfriend who leeches off of him, hits him, pulls his hair. Anytime he says something, she comes back with some snide remark. She insults him constantly, and he lets her live there, puts a roof over her head, buys food for her. You know what I'm saying? Does everything he can. Shares all his pot with her. And he says to me, I don't understand. They won't help Carrie. So what? You're helping her. She's not dying. You're helping her. We already live in a society that already helps women. They don't have to work if they don't want to. And many times they go into something, then they have kids and they drop it. So you help them for nothing. They go and have kids. you pay all this money. They take out they get all these grants to go get a master's degree. Then they meet some doctor in college, get married, and have kids, and don't even use the degree, and just become a house mom for the rest of your life. Do you understand what I'm talking about? We already live in a society that helps women. That completely helps women no matter what. All my taxes go to welfare moms. I pay child support to a welfare mom who won't let me see my kids, and society is conducive to her not letting me see my kids, because everybody profits off of me not seeing my kids. The courts, she gets full benefits. She gets like $8,000, $8,000 a year earned income credit. She gets my support. Doesn't have to let me see my kids. Nobody cares. I'm a litmus test. I'm a litmus test, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to screen share you a comment I wrote on this guy's thing, and he just completely misses my point. People seem to not be able to get my point. I'm going to show you. Let me go to my history. So anyway, yeah. So why would you promote more women? Okay, if you consider yourself conservative and you're fighting liberalism, why would you promote more female artists into a pretty much male-dominant industry, which the liberals are already doing? Especially like I saw Ethan Van Sciver. I keep picking on him because he keeps doing weird stuff that makes me suspicious that he's not conservative. And he says he grew up a poor Mormon. Well, I wanted to talk about that too. I guess the Mormons are bullshit too. I didn't know that. So the Christians are bullshit. The Catholics are all bullshit. The Mormons are all bullshit. They don't take care of each other. I guess I was hoping the Mormons were a fairly decent church, and they all took care of each other. We're the Church of Latter-day Saints. Oh, well, at least you went from rags to riches, Ethan. I went from having a decent family legacy to having the government distribute my money to everybody else, and then treat me like a piece of shit for having a bad attitude about it. So anyway, yeah. Ethan Van Sciver brings a female honey badger who already has a huge channel and already has a comic book out. Probably didn't have to do the whole thing herself. Probably doesn't have to work full time. Probably, do you understand? Already has. If she needs help, she gets it. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? And if her comic was all that fantastic, it would already have. Everyone's like, oh, you just got to create good content that people want. Well, apparently her comic wasn't that great because she needed help and she got it. But then you have me. I can barely afford art supplies because I don't have health care. I pay child support for 2 kids that haven't met me since they were 1 year old. So basically they just haven't met me. And that was when the mother abused them, by the way. And I was able to visit them one time because the mother abused them. But anyway, and then since then, she just won't let me. She got the kids back, and she won't let me see them because she wants to tell them that men have she wants to fill their head full. I hope my kids grow up big, giant, muscular SJWs, and they beat the hell out of some Trump supporters. How about that? And if my kids do get brainwashed and they get hurt because of it, and someone hurts them, God have mercy on you, because I'll be coming for you. And I'll say, oh, no, my kids didn't know what they were doing. They were raised by an abusive single mother they were in a society that fills young males' heads full of bullshit. So now I'm here to cave your head in for you. Anyway, with a hammer or something. So anyway, or whatever I want. So maybe I'll split your melon from 60 yards away with a bow and arrow. So anyway, my point being is, so here I am and many other men. I can't sit around and I could just tear out a sick first issue if I could just sit around 8 hours a day on welfare with child support and my 2 kids. And all I had to do was cook a few meals and sit them in front of the TV. Like, well, I wouldn't even do that, but my kids would eat all healthy organic food. They drink all distilled. My kids are gonna get their heads filled full of garbage. and I'm not going to be there to be able to do anything about it. And they're going to eat garbage and drink garbage because I'm not there to make sure they eat healthy food, drink healthy water, drink home cooked meals, all that stuff. So, or eat home cooked meals. My point is why would you, if you were at the top of Comicsgate, right, which is making a safe haven for white conservative American-born males who are being called Nazis, as we have no rights, as I'm a living testimony to, and in our own country, just for having conservative values where we want to not be gay, have a wife who takes care of our children while we go out into the world and conduct business. You know what I mean? So in other words, you're gonna create a safe haven for white males who are just getting ruined, not just in comic books. Like I said, the average white male is competing with women now who can work if they want to. But women have an intrinsic value that they can have kids and they're pretty, and that's all. Women just need to show up. They don't have to work. Women are like the essence of the word being. They just are. Men are the essence of the word doing. We have to do things, and if we can't, we're considered a loser. Okay, or if we don't. So now men are competing against women this is what I'm trying to say, whose society completely helps anyway. Like, as I said, my wife can abuse my kids. She's had Section 8. I know who she is. She's the mother. She's had Section 8. She's had welfare. You know what I mean? She gets earned income credit, thousands of dollars. She gets my child support. She lives with another man who helps her financially too. And my kids think that he's their father as of now. I'm waiting for a court date because I finally was able to find one lawyer after 12 years who would help me pro bono. So this guy, I'm trying to make my point, and I come across this guy's channel. People are just like, I don't know. Well, I know that Comicsgate is not conservative, and it's not fighting against liberals, and it's how is helping women into a historically white male art form that is being taken away from them, and who already have help in the form of welfare. I mean, my taxes go to tons of, my taxes in this town. You can go down to Dollar Square, and you can go to the homeless shelters, and it's all single moms. So all my tax dollars go to single moms while there's homeless veterans and shit. You know what I mean? And men and single fathers who are, in jail because they can't pay child support, but the women just get free everything, right? So how is that helping comics? By helping women now who, you have a big channel and you help a male rights activist in the first place instead of a male rights activist, because men are slighted across the board. And then you almost rub it in the face of both the manosphere and Comicsgate by promoting a female who can work if she wants to, and if she doesn't, everybody will help her anyway, over men who can't even afford pens and it takes them 5 years because they gotta wait. I gotta wait weeks sometimes just to buy pens. And you live in a crappy space in a shitty neighborhood. You know what I mean? As you pay taxes for everybody else to get free food stamps, Section 8. All these women are getting food stamps, Section 8, while the men couch surf and live in tiny little one-room apartments, paying child support for kids they barely ever see, refrigerator empty, walking around, riding a bike while the the mother, I'm telling you, man, how is that conservative? Like helping, instead of helping, not just white males, really. I'm just saying predominantly white males. And then the white males who are helped in the Comicsgate can help females and minorities if they want to, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Or they can come in, but generally priority should be males who are poor, can't afford even art supplies or a tablet or whatever, and internet and all this stuff to even get launched, when they're and they're talented. You know what I'm saying? That's hurting the comic book industry by not bringing all that male energy, that historical male energy into comic books that made comic books great. And it's like Comicsgate is flipping over backwards now. Another girl, who's speaking on behalf of her husband, Mindy, whatever her name is. She pretty much agrees with me, and she's like doesn't even know she knows what these people's agenda are either in Comicsgate. These big artists, or if they're just using her as some kind of shield or what, like if she even wants to be associated with them. And I had to agree with her there because I've already said that. That's what she said when I was commenting in her forum. So let me go to this guy's site now, and I'm almost done. This is just a quickie where I just rant real quick. Listen, this is what I said to this guy. He might have replied back by now. I said, if you call two rival factions of politics in comics the liberals winning and the conservatives running, taking a beating, not doing anything but using Comicsgate for personal gain and not to change the landscape to be fair, then yeah, I guess so. Because he's trying to say there's two political factions fighting each other. And I'm saying, what do you mean? They're both doing the same thing. That's not fighting each other. I said, if conservatives can't come correct and keep kneeling to libs, then good. It's almost like God vindicating my whole life to watch comicdom fall. He doesn't want comicdom to fall, and I'm saying, good, let comicdom fall, because people aren't responsible enough to have that mantle. Americans aren't responsible enough. Being a progressive now, because he's saying liberals have always been progressive. Well, being a progressive now would be undoing things like affirmative action and creating a level playing field for white American hetero males and single fathers who are screwed daily by the millions. I said, also, I bring up in chats that I'm a single Christian father, white American born male who's lucky to be here with all the wars my family has fought in to no avail since World War I, who's never met my kids because of feminism, because of the Tender Ages Act, which got overturned by male rights activists, but is not enforced. They still just hand the kids to mother. They still let the mothers keep the kids secret and say whoever they want the father to be, not have to tell the father to be that the kids are being born so he can be there, all that. And laws favoring mothers. So I've never met my kids because of feminism and laws favoring mothers, even when unfit. And the mother of my kids, let me tell you, and who works full. And I didn't know that. I didn't even know she was pregnant. I left her because I wanted to get married, and I left her because she was unfit. And unfortunately, she was already pregnant. And who works full time in healthcare but can't afford healthcare because I pay child support for two kids who never met me and taxes for everyone else to get free stuff. And I get fined now. They take my tax return for being too poor to afford health care because I'm a white male. Because I'm a white male and I have a crappy job that doesn't even make enough money. I don't qualify for Medicaid. So being too poor to afford health care by the Mass Department of Revenue, I can show you the letters where they're fining me and taking my taxes because I can do a video of me calling the DOR and telling them I'm too poor to afford health care. My employer can't find a plan that will allow me to pay child support and have food in my refrigerator and a roof over my head. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I don't get to see my kids. That's not given a very high priority in Comicsgate. I'm told to shut up and that I'm a Nazi. So anyway, for being too poor in Comicsgate, and I said, so I bring this all up and Comicsgaters say, oh, sorry to hear that. Or, we've all had some bad things happen. Get over it. So get over it. Your kids think some other guy is their dad. That is not conservative. So Comicsgate is not conservative. They're all for liberals, for what liberals have done to this country. and say I should just put up with whatever, with never meeting my own kids. Some people say sorry, but that sorry doesn't cut it when you've never met your children before. People, sorry doesn't cut it because we live in a country that favors women across the board, even in Comicsgate, over males who are struggling and killing themselves. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. No, that doesn't cut it. Oh, sorry. No, you're not sorry. If you were sorry, you would help me. If you people were sorry about my situation, you would say, hey, Ethan, hey, Mike, how come you're not having the action artist on? So anyway, this guy replied, and he said, well, the goal here would be to tamp down the vitriol and just acknowledge the various political sides. There are no political sides. You're all on the same side against men. You're all on the same side against giving opportunities to men and helping women, male rights activists, because women do better fighting for men's rights than men do fighting for men's rights. How does that even work? No, because nobody listens to men anymore. Go read Men on Strike by Dr. Helen Smith. Nobody listens to men anymore. He says, there is a problem in society for sure. See, nobody disagrees with me, but nobody wants to do anything about it or help men in my position. Do you understand? Or give opportunities to men in my positions. Tony, this is Tony. He says he works in comics. Tony DiGirolamo, DiGirolamo. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. It's a hard to pronounce name. So he says there is a problem in society for sure. Oh yeah, no, you think? You think? I live it every day. I know, trust me. And family court is definitely one of them. I don't know if that's a problem Comicsgate can solve. It could help. It could help men. It could give opportunities to comic book creators in that position, trying to raise families or paying support for kids they never see, and so the guy could be a successful comic book artist and maybe have some money for lawyers to go fight for his kids. I don't know if that's a problem that Comicsgate can solve, but it's certainly one that comics could talk about as a medium. I said, I'm referring to the litmus test of talking about my situation in Comicsgate forums. And the priority level, it seems to be given, and by that I mean it's ignored. However, a female who is a male rights activist here on YouTube, who can work if she wants to and is already successful, and who's never had her kids abducted by a man, couldn't happen, she is elevated and promoted on a big Comicsgate channel. A contrast would be when I started a channel in the manosphere and I started bringing up hard truths no one was talking about with a new approach, and the big content creators didn't give me credence, whether incidentally or coincidentally. There was mutiny, and they all cheered to put me on the shows. Not Comicsgate. People call me a Nazi, laugh out loud, for saying, hey, why are we helping so many female creators? That's what libs already did with affirmative action. That has destroyed the industry. That's what destroyed the industry. Instead of helping, talented young men who really want to be in, who really have a desire to, to craft comic books into the industry. The libs are promoting women, minorities, gays, just anything but, a young male, basically, or especially a young white male. You'll get nothing. You'll get like me. You'll get laughed at and told, oh, sorry, you've never seen your kids before. Hope that works out for you. See you later, bro. Not Comicsgate. People call me a Nazi for saying, hey, why are we helping so many female creators? That's what libs already did with affirmative action. That has destroyed the industry. So for now, the balance is helping conservative white male creators, who are the main target of liberals, to have a safe place to work, and the retort is, I'm bitter, I'm a Nazi, my art sucks. And I told them I had to finally throw down a challenge to any pro or non-pro. If they think I'm whining because I suck, uh, to a live drawing contest. And I said a pro would never accept, of course. That would give me exposure, which is what everybody tells me. That's all I need. They're like, wow, you draw really well. All you need is exposure, which I cannot get. I just cannot get exposure. So anyway, and I said, and I use that to my advantage, that these guys won't give me exposure by just, you know what I mean, doing stuff like that. I'll challenge them to a challenging the pros to drawing contests live. A pro would never accept that, of course. That would give me exposure, win or lose, low. But no one accepted, and everyone shut up. I said, we already live in a society that not only helps single women with everything, like my ex, who stole my kids and gets all the benefits and earned income credit, but I said, but they can work too if they want, if they want to. So everybody helps women, and they can work too on top of that. I said, that's why I can't just tear off a great first issue and go have it printed. I'm busy being broke and having no time working full time, getting fined for not being able to afford health care, paying taxes for single moms to go on welfare, paying support for my kids and not seeing them or getting any benefit, giving what little money I have now to the lady who agreed to help me for practically free. Just I give her money when I can. No lawyer will do that. You know what I mean? I give her money and and do a quick, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. I don't know what to say. I'm losing my voice here talking about it. I told my manager to pretty much fuck off today. And I told my manager today that this town is garbage and the people in this town are garbage. And basically, you can fuck right off. And I walked out and I went back already. And nobody said shit to me because I'm right. Because this town I live in is garbage and the people that live here are fucking garbage. So anyway, I see them all the time. Yeah, all the I'm telling you, I've seen the girls that weren't. Oh, that's funny. A girl that had her shit together, and I dated her, and she broke up with me. Or no, she started treating me like I wasn't good enough for her. I saw her a few nights ago down at the convenience store, looking for a dick to suck. Basically, I could see almost every bone in her body. She was so skinny. She had it together though. Back in the 90s, I remember her. Her name was Lisa, and she was going to college. She was, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, man. So anyway, she needed to get married. What she needed to do was get married, but this society is going to encourage her to go work exactly like Comicsgate, to go have a career. And so anyway, yeah, for single moms to go on welfare, paying support for my kids and not seeing them or getting any benefit, no earned income credit for me. I might buy some art supplies, but the rest would probably go to my kids. You know what I'm saying? Usually these mothers, you know what they do with the earned income credit? There's a word for it. It's called tax balling. They get that big fat, $8,000-$10,000 check at the end of the year, while the single father's in jail or living on somebody's couch, or living on SDI because he had to say he was crazy because he can't find a job. You know what I mean? Because all the women he's got to compete with women too that get welfare and work, and everybody takes care of them and helps them out too. You know what I mean? They go tax balling and they get big giant TVs. And they get all kinds of fancy clothes and shoes for themselves with that money. I know all about what the mothers do with that earned income credit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I said, he did reply to me. I'm going to see what he said, because there's another reply. See if he's getting my point or if he thinks I'm trying to make a pity party. This isn't me having a pity party. This is me telling you that you're all destroying comics. That's going to be my comment, is if he can't get my point, I'm going to be like, fine, I'm going to watch while you guys destroy comics even more. Just keep destroying comic books by doing you're doing everything the liberals want you to, by not taking a stand and doing the opposite thing of what they want you to. So, yeah. But so anyway, yeah, I can't just tear off a cool comic book because, but female creators can do one comic and do a big comics and get on a big Comicsgate show while I toil for 3 years to start my comic, all done on my own, no inker, no letterer, no colorist, nothing. I said, how is that restoring any balance and creating peace? I got to compete with that. How can men compete with that? Well, look, I can certainly sympathize with your situation. My brother has kids and went through a very tough divorce, and although I didn't have kids, oh, you didn't have kids. Now I know why. Go have some kids, bro, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Your brother went through it. I'm going through it. Every guy I know is going through it. Most every guy they know is going through it. That's had basically when you're basically as a man, you're a wallet and a sperm donor now. Your brother went through it. I'm going through it. We're not rare. I'm not a leprechaun. The reason you know somebody in your family is because that's how it works when you have kids now. The women, they can work. They can be a mom. They can do drugs. They can be a hooker. People will still give them their money. They can go have a career, go to college, get a degree, then get married, never even use the degree. Women can do whatever they want now. It used to be that we understood that women's sexual power and their physical their beauty was so powerful that the way to keep them in check was to basically make it a slippery slope into them having to get married and have kids and retire and have a good life and be at the center of a family for the rest of their life. But apparently we're just not going to do that now. So the country's basically, there's no reason having this debate then, because it's over. That means it's over. It's over. If it's over for men, if it's over for males and fathers, and men can't, and we can't get into comic books, and everybody's going to help women into comic books, and there's no gays and everybody else except American-born males, especially white males, then why are we having this debate? Just let comic books just fall flat on their face. I'll tell you, because history shows that nobody writes sci-fi and action and all that stuff and comes up with incredibly involved, detailed storylines and is able to empathize with people like white males. I'm telling you, white males have proven to be just incredibly. I would say white males invented romance. To tell you the truth. Anyway, he says, but understand though, it's tough for people to confront the hard truths of this world. Yeah, you guys can read this. I don't even got time. It's incredible. Well, you can help me, bro. Hey, Tony, you're in comic books. You can help me though, right? No, good. It's probably going to be good luck with that action artist. I hope it. Thanks, baby boomer. Thank you, baby boomer. You were alive in a day and age when it was just white guy wanted to go be in comics. He just got good at it and went into comics. Not anymore. I guess now it's just whatever. Just it's over. It's over for me. I should just accept it, I guess. Anyway, it's not over for me because I have a good family, and luckily, and as hard for it is for them to watch my situation, they're helping me as much as they can. When my parents die, I don't know what's going to happen, and I hope my kids don't get hurt, because if the same thing happens to my kids, I don't know if I'm going to be able to control myself. So anyway, that's all for now. This is the Action Artist. I hope everybody has a good time wherever you are.